For a while, we were just friends, and I didn't start talking to Doug until after he was divorced. Over time, it transformed into something grander. Someone I trusted implicitly was the one I went to when I needed to tell someone, hey, I know that people are watching me. They all said, well, we need to meet him, talk to him, and find out his story. And I would be grateful if you could help me along my path in this regard, because I would like to put wisdom to use. After doing this, they came back and said, we understand his situation and we believe there is a way that the Bible explains it. Starting a relationship is fine with us, but please take it easy on us. In this specific case, do you think that Doug's choice to leave and marry Joni is a reason to divorce? Wow, that is a really difficult and simple question, isn't it? No. Greetings and salutations to all, and we appreciate your continued support of our channel. As we delve into a story that has been circulating in the Christian media industry for nearly 2 years, I am delighted to have you here today. There have been many questions, disagreements, and accusations surrounding the brief romantic relationship between marriage therapist Doug Weiss and Daystar's Joni Lamb. These days, we're going to look into the details, the dates, and the accusations that have many people baffled. It was Doug Weiss's wife, Lisa, he said, who actually abandoned him. According to the evidence, however, he was the one who left her, and Joni Lamb was the one who encouraged him to do it. Why is that? Put your seatbelt on, because you don't want to miss this story. The first step is to start at the beginning. Sadly, Joni Lamb's husband, Marcus Lamb, passed away in November 2021. Marcus was a co-founder of Daystar Television Network. She was married to Marcus, and they co-hosted the hit show Ministry Now. Her lifelong companion was Pastor Marcus. Because of his death, she felt a huge hole in her professional and personal life. But Joni started seeing Doug Weiss, a famous marital and sex therapist who was still married to Lisa, his wife of more than 30 years. Not long after he passed away, this happened. Things began to take a strange turn. Now, on the night of Marcus's death, Joni stated on one of her broadcasts that she spoke with Doug Weiss for a total of 19 hours. Loyal Daystar TV viewers might recall this scene. Exactly. 19 hours, I can confirm that. According to Joni, Doug, who was still married to Lisa, was a great comfort to her during her darkest hour. Since this information became public knowledge, many have started to question whether Joni and Doug had been up to more before Marcus passed away. Doug Weiss has made a number of remarks that are eyebrow-raising on their own, and he has also added fuel to the fire. While making his remarks, he claimed to have been the first to see Marcus Lamb's body in the coffin following its opening. For some reason, I was the first person to arrive at the scene of the funeral and the first to remain there after the coffin was opened. It seems ironic, now that I'm thinking about it. I felt something for Marcus. That's why. Actually, you are cognizant of the fact that I have adored him for a long time, and not just because of his manhood, but also because of his works and his character, including his offspring and relatives. Even though this could just be an expression of support at this point, it has made some people question whether Doug had any more involvement in Marcus's downfall than that. Even the forensic files might be involved in a re-examination of Marcus's death, according to some. Regardless of the veracity of these claims, they have certainly added to the aura of secrecy surrounding this incident. We can now go on to talking about Doug's upcoming April 2022 appearance on Ministry Now. A lot of questions have been brought up because of this look, especially when the timeline is considered. Doug served his wife Lisa with a divorce petition in January 2022. Even so, here he was, gushing about his family on national television just 3 months after the wedding, wearing his wedding band. Just a moment, things are going to become much more challenging. Just 2 months subsequent to this appearance, did Doug and Joni Lamb begin their relationship. This information clearly contradicts Joni's claim that she and Doug did not communicate until after the divorce was finalized in May 2022. This is on top of the fact that Doug's decision to divorce his wife has Joni's wholehearted support. Among the audio clips, the one where Joni reads aloud Doug's remarks about his marriage to Lisa stands out as very instructive. In the audio, Doug talks about the problems in his marriage and claims that Lisa suffers from intimacy anorexia, a term he helped popularize. He claimed she deliberately avoided showing him affection because she was always too busy for their relationship. The pain Doug had endured was enough, according to Joni, and a marriage defined by neglect was not a reflection of God's honor. Here's a sample of her speech. What? Spiritual, emotional, praise, nurturing, all of that stuff. Give us a more detailed explanation, please. Was her decision to avoid you and not talk to you a conscious one? Yeah, it didn't make a difference. Every night when I got home, she would be on the phone or reading for 3 or 4 hours, oblivious to me. I felt completely ignored. It was a terrifying ordeal that felt like falling into a black hole. For example, if you're truly curious, no, the details don't interest me. I am ready to move on to the next stage now. This is what Joni has to say. Doug tried everything to save his marriage, but it was in vain. She even goes to the extent of saying that staying in an abusive or neglectful relationship is dishonorable in God's eyes. Although these are all valid points to think about, the timing of everything makes it hard to ignore. It is perplexing that Doug, who was a leading voice on the subject of marriage and intimacy, failed to save his own marriage. Was there something about Joni, a widow still grieving the death of her husband, that compelled her to step in and defend Doug's freedom to divorce his wife? Did Joni encourage Doug to leave his wife because she thought she was the best person to take Marcus's place as life partner and co-host on Ministry Now? Lots of questions keep piling up. Was Doug's growing relationship with Joni a more significant factor in the decision to divorce than an irreconcilable marriage? What role does Joni play in this whole affair, too? Is it conceivable that she thought Doug would be the perfect on-screen and off-screen substitute for Marcus? Many have voiced their desire for responses to these questions, from fans to critics. The situation quickly deteriorated. Doug began publicly announcing his intention to divorce Lisa in February 2023, and the divorce was finalized by May 31st of the same year. Nevertheless, the main point is, without mentioning his past divorce, Doug persisted in counseling couples at his marriage counseling clinic. Many have pointed out that he should have been forthright and honest about his personal life with those who sought his advice, and they have called this dishonest. Meanwhile, the event at the Empire State Building took place. Doug claims that he was told by God to propose to Joni atop the world-renowned monument and to celebrate their engagement by giving her a Tiffany ring. Considering how rapidly their love blossomed, some may see this as romantic, while others may see it as manipulative. Some have questioned the couple's self-control and the spiritual foundation of their relationship in light of rumors that suggest they were heavily making out on their first dates. Despite Doug and Joni's claims that their relationship is predetermined by God, many wonder if it was God's plan all along, or if human desires and emotions played a larger role. By the way, how about Lisa Weiss? It would be fair to give Doug a chance to explain her side of the story before we label her as the victim. Even after publicly claiming that their relationship is a manifestation of the Lord's will, Joni and Doug have persisted in moving forward with it. Nonetheless, a lot of people are still confused. Would you say this was a stroke of luck or a deliberate plan to have someone else take Marcus Lamb's place on Ministry Now and in Joni's life? Do you think this relationship was actually predetermined by God, or is there another side to the tale? I would appreciate it if you could tell me. What are your feelings on this controversial romantic relationship? In your opinion, is there